Hello everyone, Sean here. This is going to be a series on our little Seba Beach Cabin. I took on this project a couple summers ago, I believe, and here's how we started out. It's just a little less than 500 square foot cabin, and it had a few renovations along the way, as you will see as we go along here, but it was a project for sure. So we started with taking out all of the cabinetry, taking out this built-in cabinet, which is actually built in around the chimney, which you can't even tell is right there right now. But as I open it up, we're going to see that the chimney is made of brick. It's not on a foundation. It's basically just hanging off of the wall studs on a couple 2x4s. And this was actually a built-in that was like, took me quite a while, like even with a sledgehammer, to get it apart. And it was quite well built. It's just, as you can see here, it's a completely brick chimney, and it's only being held up by that 2x4 that's on a bit of an angle there, and then it's framed out above it, boxed out. So I guess it held. I wasn't too confident with it really, but we had to take it out anyways, so it's okay. So this is a time lapse of us actually ripping all the drywall off, and as you can see, like, they did renovations in certain parts of the, so this was a renovation done later on, and they actually put in insulation and put on a little bit of vapor barrier. It was a very thin vapor barrier. I don't even think it was to code. And then as you see on the other half here, and the actual bedroom, they had no insulation. In this little wall cavity, that was a real fun thing we found. It wasn't a live nest anymore. We'll find those later. But this is ants that crawled up into the wall and dragged all the dirt and ate the insulation and basically made their nest in the wall there. This is another ant's nest at the other corner of the house, and it was a live one, obviously, and these guys were so big and there were so many of them that you could actually hear them like panicking and dragging everything out of their nest there. You can see them pulling all their eggs out, trying to get them out because they know they're gotta move now. But so the people knew about this beforehand. As you can see, there's a ant trap there. I guess it didn't do much. So this is now the bedroom. All of the windows were just the old wooden frame windows, single pane. And as you can see, the bedroom wasn't insulated in any way, shape, or form. As we were pulling down the ceiling, it seems like they did a renovation on the front here. That's why it's all insulated in the front room, and it's also got pink insulation up above this part of it. Some of the other ceiling insulation was not pink, it was the old stuff, which was the nasty. But we suited up and got rid of all of it. So, and as you can see, when they did the renovation, they just put it over top of the old ceiling tile there. So not much effort. Just basically cover it up and hope it's good. So we just continued to pull everything down. As you can see, they put drywall up over all of the ceiling tile. Once all that was down, all the insulation was out of the attic, then we found out they never actually tied any of the joists or the trusses across there. So they all just wiggled on top of the actual support beams. Also, we took all the insulation out of the wall because we were gonna spray foam everything eventually. This was the platform that the chimney sat on. I took off all the bricks and threw them off. I'm amazed it stayed up for that long. But it was just supported on the actual floor joists from that wall, from that 2x4 wall. So there must have been, I bet you there was at least a couple thousand pounds of brick on top of that, like at least. So I don't know, it held, I guess. Next step, we took up all of the subfloor. So they had actually laid down a layer of particle board, 1/4 inch. It wasn't even 1/4 inch, I think it was 1/8 inch particle board. And we took that up, and then what I did was I cut around the perimeter of this of the subfloor here, and we pulled out every single nail of the subfloor and took it all up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a covering on the bottom of the floor joists, and then we're going to spray foam down onto that covering. So when we do that, it basically makes the floor insulated, right? So we'll have a little bit of an air gap above where we're actually going to run in-floor heat. So this saved me from digging out a crawl space underneath, which would have been a really big job and a very painful job. And so I got away without doing that. And these are actually pictures of stumps underneath that they just left, and then animals were living in and hollowed out the stumps, and they were living in the stumps. I didn't think there was anything living in there now because you can see the cobwebs around the holes, and they wouldn't have, like, if there was something going in and out of them, there wouldn't have been cobwebs there. So I figured most of it wasn't actually anything living in there at this time. And we sealed off this whole area when we were finished as well. So this next thing here is what we stapled to the bottom of the floor joists. And then this is after we spray foamed it. And you can see up there that there is a orange tubing there, and that's going to run back and forth throughout the floor joists, and that's going to be our in-floor hot water heating. So I will show you the rough ins and stuff on the next one, and that's going to be the next video. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.